Let's move on to this subject that it's so like embedded in my brain for years, and I've talked to my friends about this, and now I'm talking to you about it, Robbie. What's Hollywood's fascination with slave movies? We've seen movies like Rosewood and Freedom and Lincoln and 12 Years a Slave,
Oof.
Django Unchained. It has been so many movies that Hollywood has made. And there's been so many movies that Hollywood has depicted that has profited off of someone's pain, like Aaron Brockovich and Titanic and Argo and Blindside. So slave movies to me, it was a painful time in history, American history. And Hollywood continues to profit off of slave movies. Why do we need slave movies? I don't get it. Why?
I think the trend is slowing down now. I think after 12 Years a Slave, we've kind of slowed down a little bit. A little bit. There's some TV movies still coming out and stuff like that, but when clearly studios market off of traumatic events in history, and that's Black history, obviously, in America. So they feel like their demographic of people who go to see movies relate to those movies the most. In the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, it seemed to be a trend after Roots did so well on TV. And I remember when I was a kid and Roots come on, I was like, what is this? Why are we watching this? My parents would just make me watch that movie. Oh God, that show was so horrible. It's just like, why are we watching this? This doesn't make any sense. And
Dramatic.
Like, God dang, just say your name. I got it. But like nowadays, I think my endpoint was 12 Years a Slave. You already had to talk me into go seeing that movie. I was already at my wits' end at that point. And I was like, fine, I'll go see it. Whatever. Just, I know we're going to be, there's nothing new. We got plantation owners. We got somebody's trying to go free and all this shit. But as soon as that woman came down, there was that scene where they were having a good old dance party. Remember, it was in slow motion and she was just dancing, and that white woman came down and grabbed that thing from that and threw it across and hit her in the head. I walked out the theater. I was like, I'm done. I am done. I was so delirious and over it that I think I laughed so hard just because it was so absolutely out of the boy and stupid and ridiculous and shocking that I was just like, I gotta go. This is absolutely just, it's too much for me. I don't want to see that anymore. And I think generally people don't want to talk about it anymore. And I think that goes for Black folks too. I think we've kind of like, let's move on. There's other characters that we can idolize in any kind of history or any kind of genre that Black people can be leads. And we're starting to see that more. We're starting to see Black people in vampire films and action films and love stories and comedies. And, now they're saying that, we can make money off of Black leading actors in different genres now. We don't have to put them in chains, and they don't need to be going through railroads. They can do other things now. You know what I mean? So
was 12 Years a Slave the last movie you watched?
Yeah.
That slave movie.
That was the last slave movie I've seen.
Okay. So the last slave movie I watched, I mean, no lie, you probably think I'm kidding, no lie. The last slave movie I watched was Rosewood, and it was directed by John Singleton, 1997. I haven't watched a slave movie since. I remember being in high school, I had this amazing teacher. His name was Mr. Converse, and he introduced us to Roots and all these different, historical, slavery themed movies. And we would watch them over and over. And slave movies did nothing but make me angry. It made me upset. It made me just like, I would leave class like looking at, the white people in my, high school or, junior high school, like, with the side eye. It was just really a bad thing, especially trying to reconcile your emotions about what you just saw. It was crazy. So when I got to college in 94, for the first 4 years, I was, really into African American arts and studies and things like that and history. And then I saw a couple of slave movies before that. And then I saw Rosewood in 1997. And then I promised myself that I'll never watch another slave movie. That I really did. I said, I don't want to, I just don't want to go put myself through that again. So I never watched them. So every time Hollywood would introduce Amistad and the new one, Emancipation by Will Smith and Django Unchained, I never gravitated to them. Never wanted to watch them. Slaves movies do nothing but make people angry. If you notice, there's no movies about the Holocaust. Like the I mean, there's some, but not a lot. But there may be one or two. But there's no movies like
Like there seems like there is a movie every year about the Holocaust.
no, but not to the extent of slave movies. Slave movies like that. Every Oscar is the slave movie, you know. But there are some movies. But at the same time, I just feel like Hollywood loves to make money off people's pain, and for us, our contribution of pain is through slavery. Like slave movies say, "Oh, they did this to you, they did that to you," and it's just like it cheapens it for me. I rather history. We got roots, like roots enough. Just roots alone will be able to tell you the beginning, middle, end of what this this historical, downfall of America was about. Like that would just tell you in that just that movie alone. We don't need 10, 20, 30 other movies. And I really think it's like, oh, let's win the Oscar. So let's put the slave movie up. But it does nothing for us. It does nothing for us. And we're not even making money off of it. Like African Americans aren't even making money off of it. Like look, I want you
Yeah,
to
it's
no,
really weird that no African
but
American,
look
you
at the
know,
producers, look at the executives, look at the studio, look at all the people who are making money off the pain of that history.
yeah,
Just all you gotta do is go type in Amistad or type in Rose. I ain't talking about okay, Debbie Allen produced, I mean directed it. Okay, great. But look at all the other people behind the scenes who are benefiting from that movie. That's my point. It's not
yeah.
beneficial to the
It's
community.
not beneficial. I do have to say, like the Jewish film industry, they do a movie every year that's nominated that has to do something
But
with
who's
the Holocaust.
producing it? Who's producing that movie?
Yeah, and most people who are money people in Hollywood are Jewish or
Yeah,
white folks. So Tyler
and that's
Perry ain't doing no
fine.
slave movie. You know what I mean? Well, Tyler Perry remake Roots. You know what I mean? Maybe that'll be his Oscar.
No,
Um,
do not do it. Don't do it, Tyler. Don't
don't
do no
do it.
slavery.
It is. I think it is actually traumatizing to to me, especially as a kid, because we're '80s kids up to this point, and it seemed like the only time you can ever see a leading actor to get rewarded for something is to play something that a slave. And I think that's kind of like, I think we're steering away from that now. We're starting to show that Black people can play real people and superheroes and all that kind of stuff now, and we're seeing more and more of it. I mean, if anything, film and TV is more diverse than it's ever been. I
Yes.
mean, you even have to have a gay person on every single scene now. So you know what I mean? Like shit's
Right, right,
diverse. So
right.
we can't be complaining that shit's not diverse because it is diverse. Clearly, there can be more leading men and Black men. Asian men get it a lot. We don't see enough Asian people who are leading in blockbuster films, and we know that they can sell films too. So I think Hollywood's doing a lot better because the diversity of directors and producers is definitely widened. So I think we're at a really, really good point of steering away from films like that now, which is great. And hopefully we don't go back towards it. But a majority of the time, that was just a thing that demographically people wanted to see, was that kind of history. And most white folks go see slave movies. They probably,
But okay, but do you think they go see it because it makes them feel
no,
better?
I think it's just because I just, at the time, these were just high production films that just showed a piece of history that people feel nostalgic about. I mean, we still have people reenacting Civil War stuff in fields. You know what I mean? Like, why are we reenacting that? Like, that's just weird shit to me. But then you got Black folks who reenact being slaves in these things too. So,
You mean like, you talking
I
about
think old school Black folks too probably don't want to let go of it, and it's probably something they relate to and could watch it. I mean, I have a stepdad who watches Roots all the goddamn time. I don't know why. You know what's happening. His name is not Toby, but we keep watching this, and so I don't understand. Some people, I think, especially with the older Black generations, that's what they probably relate to.
but
I don't want to see struggle anymore.
but that's a new generation. We got more directors, we got more producers, we got more writers out where we're producing more stuff, like you said before. So the real question is, do we care to see it again? I just think it has run its course.
No, it's
Like
run its course. Yeah.
there's no like I don't care, and like I said, it's really for the bang for the money. It's for the Oscar nominated like and what it was Emancipation by Will Smith came out, and it was dead in the water. No one saw it, and I think it would have been a better film had he not slapped the guy that year. it would have been better. Like it would have been received a little bit better. But since he did that, no one really paid attention to it, so it didn't really do as well. For people. I mean, for people to go see. I just think it's over. At Hollywood, if you're hearing me, I just think it's over. Let the Slave movie go. We've done it. We got 100 of them. We've seen them. We know what happens. We know who does what, and we don't need to guilt white people and, oh my God, you guys did this to us. Let it go. They didn't do it. They're gone. Let it go. And the slaves are gone. They're gone.
I don't mind tributes of people in our past who we don't know enough about to do movies. And there's one person I do wish that they would go and do. It doesn't have to be a slave movie, but it's about her life, and I don't think we've done it right. And that's Harriet Tubman. They have not done a proper movie on Harriet Tubman. That's probably the last one for me, and that should be a Black producer, director, production that does that. You know what I mean? But
like
to me, that's a story. Yeah, that's a story that they have not really hit. Right? Not like that we need it, but I think to honor her, we do need it.
But Robbie, Robbie, do we really need that movie? We know who she is. Stop it. We've read the books in history.
I'm just, if there was a script out there, I would think, and if it was a Black director and producer, I think that is somebody in our history that it'd be good to have a film on.
They're going to make that film because you suggested it, Robbie. They're going to make that film, and then they're going to get an Oscar, and then all of a sudden, this is what we need to do again. Let's do C.J. Madam Walker. Let's do Elijah McCoy. Like before you know it, it's going to be all these movies again. There's a whole museum in Washington D.C., an African American museum that's incredible, amazing. That's what I think people should go to learn their history, because there's a lot of film already that we've seen, and it's done. I think it's done. I'm not saying that I don't care about African American history. It's just that slave movies that depict us in a certain way, we've moved past that. Now it's time to usher in a new image, a new ideology. I mean, the way we look and the way we feel, the way we tell stories, it just has to be new. And that only will happen if the opportunity is given to writers, directors, producers behind the scenes to usher in those different types of transcending films or stories that are there. There's a million stories that you can tell right now. It has nothing to do with slavery.
Well, thank God for streaming services now. So not everything that's pretty much going to movies and big cinema is going to be blockbuster comic book films and stuff like that.
Right.
But for streaming services, it gives us an advantage to see a lot of content
exactly
that would or not be produced. So movies that are slave based and stuff, they have a place to stay now. If people want to go and see that kind of stuff, it's just not going to be at the theaters, which I don't really think those movies should be at theaters or whatever. People should see them streaming or whatnot. But
yeah.
It depends on the quality, obviously. But I can say the same thing about freaking cowboy movies. Like,
but we don't.
Why are we still doing the cowboy movies? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not even good people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, there's a lot of genres I think people are growing out of.
Yeah.
And that is definitely a genre.
But we have to agree that the slave movie has to go. Like, I think everybody in America.
Oh, it's done. And I don't think they're not going to make a lot of money off of those. I think we've kind of moved past those.
Yeah, move on. You at home in the comments, let us know if you're at home. Let us know if you still like to see more slave movies. If you would, you're going to the theater by yourself, because we ain't going. That's it.